right, so what we ended up doing today, this is for Tuesday the 29th and Wednesday the 30th. So we ended up doing two different things. We didn't quite get to one of them, so I'm not really going to show you. I mean, I'll show it to you, but you'll want to make sure to pick up that mentor text. But today we thought about a happy place, a place that gives us a lot of memories, things that we kind of hold near and dear to our heart. So it could be maybe it's your house, maybe it's just your room in your house, maybe it's your grandma's house, maybe it's a field or a court or whatever, wherever you play your sport that makes you happy there. And so we kind of just had all sorts of ideas on how we can make that work. So I'm going to show you a couple on here. So it's maps activity. So this person, what they did is they just obviously drew their house kind of thing. It doesn't need to look nice, but they just kind of put some things. So like right here, they have the dinner table or the dining room. It's a story, hotspots. There's lots of stories told at the dinner table. Right here we have the stove top. They're saying there was a fire, not good. So it's not that we're explaining all of the things that happened, but I want you to think of a place and kind of just add details to it in the sense of, oh yeah, this could be a story. This could also be a story. This is something I really treasure, that kind of thing. So you'll see all different sorts of things here. Right down here, there's your picture of a dog. It says a mean dog. So there's some sort of story there. This is a tree. They love their cat. The cat's stuck on the tree. I don't know. So there's lots of different things that you can add in here with pictures, with things that are happening at a certain place. Another example is this one right here. It's just has, this is like zoomed out. So it's not necessarily just a house like this one was. This one actually says, okay, here's my house, but here's other people's houses. Here's things that happen around on the land or on the, here's like the road. So they just give examples there. So again, it's just an idea list. That's all we're wanting you to do is come up with the ideas. And kind of going along with that route of things that are kind of important to you. So an example that I did with one of my groups is this one right here. And so what I ended up doing is this is just an outline of my house. I kind of just added things that I know about it. So I drew my house. I kind of labeled what was in my house, family room, kitchen, master bedroom, and we have bathrooms, and we have Kenzie's bedroom, Chloe's bedroom, we have the carport, living room, we have all those things. And within there, I was able to kind of point out certain things. Like right here, kitchen, I put new and remodeled because we have a new remodeled kitchen right now because of the flood of 2019. That's a huge story I could tell. I'm not going to on this paper, but I could have that be a story. There's a hill over here on the side of the house that we use for sledding. We have an apple tree in the back. My house is an earth contact house, so I could talk about that. We have a chicken coop. So I'm just putting things that remind me of certain things and just outlining my house. Another example that I did with another group is this one right here. This is the house that actually grew up in from the time I was 8 until I graduated high school. So this one right here. So we have in the cul-de-sac, I had a basketball hoop, driveway. I have lots of different things here. This is the garage, I have kitchen, dining room, living room. These are bedrooms. I didn't really label them, but I kind of get into this. I had a hiding place. We had a big tree in the back. We had a hot tub. There's a crawl space underneath the living room, trampoline in the backyard. I put some different things too, like in the garage. There was a cooler, and there's a story that goes along with a possum. I have my cat, which I named when I was 2, Pretty Kitty. They're in the garage because my mom, sad story, but my mom ran over my cat in there. So, like, there's stories that I have in there. So all I'm doing is I'm just thinking of a place. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of a place that has meaning to you. And what you're going to do is you're going to draw that place. You're going to draw that place and, you're going to draw the place and you're going to label it and add things to it. And I really just want that. I want this to be an idea place. You're not going to write a whole lot today, but you're just going to draw that specific special place that you have and label it, add some stuff to it that you remember, and we'll just go from there. Okay, so I'm going to have you make sure to do that on a separate sheet of paper because I do want you to actually physically draw it. Again, it could be a house, it could be a neighborhood, it could be as small as just your bedroom, it could be as small as just like your grandma's living room. or wherever it is that makes you happy. It could be a court, it could be the field, it could be um, a gym, it could be all sorts of things. So I want you to pick one, and then I want you to draw it and just kind of label it and add things to it that would create stories for you. Okay? So that's one thing I want you to do. So you're going to do that, take a picture of it, and send it to me. And then this next thing, I'm just going to read it, and I'm just going to show you kind of what we talked about today. We didn't get to do a whole lot of it, but we read this mentor text that kind of also talks about a special place to them and why it's special to them. And it's called 3841 Bordeaux. So I'm going to read this. I've already annotated it, but I'm going to kind of talk to you about it. So 3841 Bordeaux, this is their address. Okay, so kind of like you're taking your happy place and talking about it here. This is how we're talking about it in writing form. Okay, so 3841 Bordeaux was my address for a very long time. Technically, I lived there 11 years, from the age of 3 to the age of 14, but it felt like 111 years. 111 years, sorry. For those were the years when a year was an eternity. Time was somewhere between stretched out and non-existent. Life wasn't forward-moving then. Life just was. It was as big and beautiful and motionless as a mahogany bedroom dresser. 3841 felt as forever to me then as the finiteness of life it feels to me now. One could count on things. This is what I like about this. Always. Curled up worms on the sidewalk after it rained. Always. The comforting weekend sound of the Cubs game or the Bears game on TV, the rise and fall of an announcer's voice, the muffled roar of the crowd, not understanding any of it, steady, liable background noise. Always. My dad's bottom drawer of neatly folded white undershirts, being able to take them to sleep in so soft. Always. Holidays with the uncles at the card table playing hearts. Always. Reading the cereal box while we ate breakfast, Beth and I. Always. Being in my room, hearing the mechanical chinking, of the garage door opening and knowing my parents were home. Always. My dad whistling and dressed nicely. Even on Sundays, a sweater and pressed slacks. Always. Getting into bed and feeling the cold underside of the pillow against my forearm. Always. The late night lullaby of ice knocking against my parents' water glasses as they came upstairs. There were a lot of always. Even today, the number 3841 sounds more like infinite to me than the word infinity itself. Okay, so again, there's a lot of this is why it's the best place ever. Okay, so we didn't actually get to writing a whole lot with this today, but I did annotate this. You're going to want to make sure you pick up this, a copy of this mentor text when you get back to school. And kind of just, I want you to, we'll probably do this in class, but I want you to try to think about, maybe it goes along with the place that you drew about, or maybe you have another place. Maybe you have another place that's really meaningful to you because these things always happen. It's reliable. It's comforting. These are things that always happen in that specific place. Okay? So you really don't need to do a whole lot with this one right now, but I do want you to make sure that when you get back to school, you get this mentor text. So make sure you ask that question. Otherwise, the only thing that I'm looking for you from today is an email with a picture of whatever you actually drew for your happy place, your whatever place that you decided to draw and label, and just have those different ideas and writing ideas that you can use. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. I want you to do this, take a picture of it, send it to me in an email. That way I have it. Otherwise, if I do not get it, I'm going to put it in as missing. Okay, all right, that's all I have for you. Thanks.